from this to this. Welcome to the channel. My name is Hero, and in this video, I share a Scalar 2 feature called Auto Progression Preview to help me with some inspiration to write some chords and a chord progression. Let's get into it. When I'm looking for a music inspiration, one technique I use is Scalar 2's Auto Progression Preview feature. And the way that you use that is by opening up Scalar 2 and then select either artists or songs. I like to start with artists, and once you can either click on this menu or you can click left and right to scale through the different artists. And once you right click on the play button, it's going to automatically play through the scales. And then while it's playing, you can preview those scales and just kind of keep going through the different scales that are available to see if any of them spark an interest or give you any kind of inspiration. You can even take the previewing a step further by enabling Humanize, and I'll put it on both so that it randomizes the velocity and the timing. Let's turn on Perform, Basic. Let's leave it on Basic to see what it sounds like. And here we go, right clicking. If you use the Perform feature, you're going to need to MIDI capture it here in Scalar's MIDI area. And you can do that by enabling MIDI capture and right clicking to start the audio again. And you stop it. And then just drag and drop that MIDI into your DAW. When I was using auto chord progression for this beat, I landed on ABC Duo Beatmaking 9. And I took it a little bit further by enabling Humanize. And then I also wanted to lock the keys because this by default was on a F sharp minor scale, and I wanted it to be on a B flat minor scale. And in order to do that, all you need to do is click on this lock, go to force into scale, and go to the desired scale. And in my case, I used A sharp, which is also a B flat, and I went to harmonic minor scale, and now it just turned that chord progression into the style of the ABC Duo Beatmaking 9, but now it forces it into the scale of my track, which is huge. This is what it sounds like when I auto preview this progression here. Once I found a chord progression I liked, I then just added the chords to different instruments around the track one of them being Pigments within Analog Lab V by Arturia. And I also put Baby Audio's Crystalline reverb on there. Without those on, sounds like this. And then when I enable the effects along with getting rid of some of the lows, it sounds like this. For the synth, I use OPXAV by Arturia. I also added Chorust by BeatSkillz, UFX-Reverb by Ujam, and I also use Shaperbox 3. And this is what it sounds like without the effects on there. The effects on, it sounds like this. And I'll show you what the automation kind of looks like. If you want me to get deeper into how I created this automation and how I do some more like sound design tips, let me know in the comments below, because this might be a little bit outside the scope of this video right now. But essentially I modulated Shaperbox 3 and with a filter envelope. I also modulated its volume separately with the same curve that I created and curve automation that I created here. For the strings, I use Cube by Lunacy Audio, and I did some of the processing of removing the lows. I removed some of the highs. I added a compressor to move out of the way of the plucks. And this is what it sounds like without the effects. And with the effects on, it's subtle, but this is with the effects on. For the first vocal synth, I use Contact Play Series Glaze by Native Instruments, and I also use UFX-Reverb by Ujam. And without the effects, it sounds like this. And with the effects, it sounds like this. For this vocal chop that I added from Loopcloud, I added quite a bit of processing on it, and it has Knock Clipper by Plugins That Knock. It has Baby Audio's Crystalline. It has UFX-Reverb by Ujam. I also added this brightness panner by Sound Particles, and then this trance gate by Kilohertz. It even has a track spacer on here to dodge out of the way for the other vocal synth that is playing, so that it could just make a little bit of space and not fight for the same frequencies. Without any of the effects, it sounds like this. And when you add the effects, it sounds like this. For the sub bass, I used a patch I created in Sublab XL by Future Audio Workshop. I also added Knock from Plugins That Knock and Decap. And I also included Track Spacer by Waves Factory. And the Track Spacer by Waves Factory, what it's doing is it's helping to move out of the way every time the kick hits. And without the effects, it sounds like this. With the effects, it sounds like this. For the kick, I used a sample that I got out of Loopcloud, and then I added knock on there, and without knock enabled, it sounds like this. With knock enabled, with a little bit of saturation and some clipping, it sounds like this. What do you use for your music inspiration? Is it some kind of music theory plugin, or listening to music, or something else entirely different? Let me know in the comments below. Let's get back into it. I have a snare loop playing in the background, and it is a bunch of different loops of snares from 6 different tracks that is within Loopmix by Audiomodern, and it sounds like this. And it's literally playing from Loopmix. It's playing only the highlighted areas of each of the waves for the different snare loops that are in here. And I coupled that together with the snare. And in this snare, it is the Hero snare along with the knock clipper and Crystalline. And together, the loop perk with the snare sounds like this. For the hi-hats, I use my Hero's comping hi-hats, and I also threw Looperator on there by Bytes to help it have some downward smash sound of the pitch going down. It sounds like this with the effect on there. On the main instrument bus that has all the instruments, I added Transit by Baby Audio and Andrew Huang, just in the places where I wanted to have a transition. Without the transition, it sounds like this. With transit enabled, it sounds like this. If you found something helpful in this video, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more music production tips, and I'll see you in the next video.